Eka Purnamasari. I'm from Group 8 and I will explain about the modality and modal verb and tense. Check it out. Okay, the first we can explain about a modality. Proceeding from the exact definitions of the grammatical category, the verbal category of mode is set of a passive from classes, which express modality by grammatical morphological means Panampa modality is an morphosynthetic category because this is characteristic of finite form only. Modality is the linguistic phenomenon where a big grammar allows one to say, think about, or on the basis of situations which need not be real. Let's take an example. I say, you should see a doctor. This definition does not make plain exactly which features of language are associated with modality. Right, and we can explain the second part of modality. Three categories of modality. Sentita modality is the expression of modal meaning at the level of the whole sentence. Subsentential modality is the expression of modal meaning within constituents smaller than a few clauses. Discourse modality is any contributions of modality to meaning in the discourse which cannot be extracted for in terms of a traditional semantic framework. Since the vast majority of work on the semantics of modality build on a truth conditional approach to sentence meaning, we may tentatively say that discourse modality is an modal meaning which is not part of sentia truth condition. 3. We can explain about verb and tense. Let's go. Modal, verb, and tense. Modality is already become clear in the previous sections. The domain of modality is wide, and the first current linguistic view and modality are deeply rooted in the theories of modal logic. Traditionally, scholars recognize two types of modality: necessity and possibility. Within these types, two categories of modality are distinguished: epistemic and deontic modality.
Modal verbs and modal discourse particles. There is a double displacement satire is an interesting commonality between modal verbs and modal discourse particles. Their polyfunctionality or more precisely their bifunctionality than classically defined as the grammatical representation of that in verbal intellection form. Location and time and aspect as the representation of the internal temporal constituency of a situation. F. Comrie then establishes the time framework. An aspect then sets out how the situation is distributed within the time framework. Aspects can be identified in many band language by considering the two word structures mentioned in 1 and illustration in the for example and 2a. The auxiliary verbs of such structures may be and breakdown for several categories, the most prominent being ends, demillary, and selves, and most limited semantics material, and main function being As a placeholder, we carry the categories that set the temporal
I'm
scan.
Lisa Andesta. I'm from group 18. And a speaker second. I will explain deontics and epistemology.
Next, material C. Deontics and epistemology. Deontics, according to Kreutler, deontics modality is a necessity of a person to do and not to do in a certain way. It shows the speaker's desire for the proposition expressed by the utterance. Let's take a look at example 3 and 4. 3. You may go at 4 o'clock. 4. A problem solved takes place on schedule. Sentence number 3 shows that speaker has an authority or desire to allow the address to go at 4 o'clock. And number 4, the speaker shows his attitude that it is necessary that all programs take place on schedule. Epistemic, according to Kreutler, notes that epistemic modality deals with the possibility, probability, or impossibility of a certain proposition. Example 7 and 8 talk about possibility or probability, whereas sentence 9 and 10 talk about impossibility or improbability. 7. He may be in her office if it is possible that she isn't in her office.
Material, namely core modal meanings. D. Core modal meanings. Rather than saying these follows as necessarily oriented to a speaker's internal state of mind, we will see them as operating to reflect the process of negotiation within a text between alternative socio-semiotic positions. We will see them as setting up different modes of dialogic interaction. We can see that they are used in this particular text in order to construct an intersubjective stance which is highly conventionalist in such contexts of academic argumentation. Here we notice most tellingly that the use of modals and evidentials is carefully staged. Also called facultative modality or inherent modality, is traditionally characterized as an ascription of a capacity to the subject participant of the clause. The subject is able to perform the action expressed by the main verb in the clause, of the kind expressed in the modal auxiliary in 1a, or the predicative adjective in 1b. 1a. That kid can sing like Frank Sinatra. Pete is perfectly able to solve this problem if they wants to. This definition needs at least 3 modifications. First, it may be better to define dynamic modality in terms of a property of the first argument of the predicate, or of the controlling participant in the state of affair, or usually the agent. Invasive, such as the implied controlling participant rather than the grammatical subject, carries the capacity. 2. The door has a key lock now, so that it can be opened and closed from both sides. Second, as observed by Palmer, the category is not restricted to ability alone, but also confers the indication of the need or necessity for the first argument participant.
as expressed by the modal auxiliary in 3a and the auxiliary-like predicate in 3b. 3a. I must find a solution for this problem soon, no, or I will go crazy. 3b. Excuse me for a minute, I have to go to the bathroom urgently. Third, the category not only covers capacities or abilities, potentials, and needs, necessities which are fully inherent to the first argument participant. Henceforth, called participant inherent